Hello and welcome. This is Paul Sandhu. This video that I'm just going to play for you is from the channel. I think it's travel videos or something like that. I will put a link in the description. And this is a person in India. This is a guy in India who does these videos about travel in India and a lot of videos on the old temples there and other structures. And his videos are very, very interesting because they do tie into the prehistory, which is the history before this world began, of the worlds that existed before, particularly the world of Lucifer. Okay, so again, this history, which I have covered in many, many videos, I'm not going to repeat it, but except to say that there were at least three ages that came before our present age. They are known as the Golden Age, which was the beginning of creation when everything was perfect. Then, when the angels sinned, that started the Silver Age. And at the end of the Silver Age, or towards the beginning of the Bronze Age, there was a war. These wars are called the Wars of the Gods. And there were two factions. One were the Titans and one were the Olympians. In the Bible, the Titans are the fallen angels, and the Olympians are the fallen sons of God, led by Lucifer, who may well be Zeus of the Greek, or some Hindu god like Vishnu or Brahma or something like that. That's who Lucifer is. He was a man. He is one of these sons of God in the Bible, who are all men that came before the time of Adam. They lived on the earth where the angels occupied the heavens. And they had an alliance in the beginning when they rebelled against God. They set up worlds here. They set up systems here, which included systems of money and commerce and banking and trading and merchandising. And that is one angle, by the way, which is not covered by anybody that speaks about these ancient worlds, okay? About mythology, you never read anything to do with money, okay? But the Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil. And it is money. The system of money was started by the anointed cherub, who was the leader of the fallen angels, as we read in Ezekiel chapter 28. And people keep saying, that Satan and Lucifer and this angel are all the same person. No, they are not. There were three different people that were prominent in three different ages. One in the Golden Age and the Silver Age, it was the anointed cherub, and then it was Lucifer, and now it is Satan. They're all three different creatures. There are three different species of creatures. One are spirit beings, the angels. The other ones are flesh and blood men, Lucifer. And the third ones are a beast reptilian category, which is Satan. And it is interesting that Jesus, when he died, they said he was in the heart of the earth for 3 days. And if you really think about it, why 3 days? And I believe that there is some relation to the fact that there were three fathers of evil. One were the angels, one was the sons of God, and the third are these beastly reptilians. And those 3 days, they represent the age of each one of these. We are told the angels are in hell. We are told Lucifer is in the bottomless pit. And Satan, of course, he was in hell and down there when Jesus went down there, and he took the keys of death and hell from him. So that, I believe, is the reason why Jesus was in. That is the reason why I believe that Jesus was in the heart of the earth 3 days and 3 nights, okay? And we can also read in Colossians chapter 2, verse 15, and having spoiled principalities and powers, he made a show of them openly, triumphing over them in it, which is the cross. So this, I believe, is the time when he went down there and he made a show of all of these here. First of the angels that had sinned, that were locked up in chains getting the day of judgment, then of Lucifer, who was locked in the bottomless pit, and of Satan, who was still free, but he has lost his power because his power has been destroyed by Christ Jesus. And this is the reason why Jesus was in the heart of the earth for 3 days and 3 nights. Otherwise, there is no other explanation that I have found in the Bible as to why it was for 3 days. And there is so much more that I need to cover on these histories, especially the history of the Bronze Age, which was the age of Lucifer. And I'm going to do it through a lot of these short videos, which are going to document, the existence of such structures that are really, really impossible to explain in terms of this history that is told to us is the history of this world, that is started with evolution and Big Bang, and even like the other histories, creation histories that a lot of Christians teach, that everything happened all over the last 6,000 years or so. That is not the case. Creation is a lot older than that, and the ages that came before, the gold, silver, and the bronze, but particularly the silver and the bronze age, they were They were concerned with the birth of evil and the growth of evil. And evil, the most prominent of its characteristics is the use of money. And that's what the angels did. They invented that system, this economic system that we use unto this day. And in the Bible, the only time that Jesus got physically angry against any group, it was the merchants that were sitting in the temple of God, and they were buying and selling there. He said, "My Father's house is called the house of prayer of all nations. Do not make it you have made it a house of merchandise." And in Ezekiel 28 about the angel, we read, "By the multitude of thy merchandise and thy traffic, they have filled the midst of thee with violence." All these things, they connect. Okay, these dots that are connected, and I will keep connecting them for you. And in time, I hope you get to see this history as clearly as I do. And when you do, you will realize the majesty and the magnificence of our God, who's made everything by wisdom, and it has all served his plans and purposes. So here's this video about this temple in India and the incredible carvings on there, which are really impossible to have been done by hand. So they must have had some kind of molding that was used in the construction of these buildings, and techniques that we really have no idea about today. So this video is from a channel titled Phenomenal Travel Videos about a temple in India with micro carvings, and it is said that this temple is about 850 years old, but for all we know, it could be like 8,500 years old or even older. We don't know. We just don't know how the age of a lot of these buildings. And at best, these are just estimates and guesswork that people give us when they say, "Oh, this thing is like 4,000 years old," and they make it sound. They assert it as if they are 100% sure that that's the age. But no, these stone buildings in particular, they are very difficult to age, and especially 800 years ago, maybe such technologies existed. But then the question would be, like, why would they not still exist? Because nothing major has happened in the last 800 years, at least as far as some major catastrophes are concerned. So my guesswork is that these buildings are actually much older.
Hey guys, I'm at the Dharaswaram temple in India, which is 850 years old. And here we can see the smallest carvings in the world. Let's take a look at this bull carved on one of the pillars. This is about 2 inches wide, but it also shows all the features of a bull. You can see the hump, the horns, ears, and eyes. There is even an extended tail, but look carefully and you can see the hoofs and even the nostril, which is just 1 millimeter wide, carved on it. Now, compare this with the carvings of the largest bull in the world. This is also situated in India in a place called Lepakshi, which is about 300 miles away. This bull is nearly 15 feet tall and 27 feet long. The smallest carving of the bull is so small that you can place 10 of them inside the toenail or the dew claw of the largest bull. But this 2-inch bull is not really the smallest carving in the temple. Some of the carvings are even smaller. This carving is less than 2 inches tall and shows Lord Shiva, and we can even identify the weapons and objects he's holding in his multiple hands. Here's a lion, which is just 1.5 inch long. It's a shame that the temple has gone through many centuries of corrosion. Many of these carvings have deteriorated. Here is the dancing elephant god, which is even smaller. He's just 1 inch long. You can see his crown, pot belly, and his arms and legs in a dancing posture. Of course, we have to wonder how ancient builders were able to create 1-inch carvings 850 years ago. Remember, I showed you the skulls in Hoysaleswara temple. These are also 1 inch wide. They are completely hollow, and you can pass a twig through one of the ears and can pull it out through the eyes. Were these amazing carvings created using advanced machines or with primitive tools? But there are carvings even smaller than this at the Dharaswaram temple. Here's a carving less than 1 inch wide and actually consists of two figures, Lord Shiva and his wife, in a sitting posture. This means that each figure is less than half an inch in size. Even today you can see that people smear saffron powder on this carving as a ritual. This ritual has corroded this carving to a considerable extent, but even after 8 centuries, we are able to identify these half-inch gods because of their features. But all this is nothing because we are only looking at the full carvings. We have to examine the details on the carvings to really appreciate ancient technology. Here's Lord Shiva in the form of a beggar, and look carefully and you will see a begging bowl in his hand. This bowl is carved to the size of black pepper or peppercorn, which is just 4 millimeters wide. Here's the wife of Shiva, and you can see the religious dot on her forehead. This is less than 2 millimeters. You can even see the smile on her face. Some of the details are so small even to capture with my camera. But if you visit this temple, please do examine these pillars. But be very careful because see these designs which look like Egyptian pyramids? The tips of these pyramids are less than 1 millimeter wide and they will prick you like needles. And this is after 850 years of corrosion. So imagine how sharp they must have been when they were created. But the question is, how can anyone create needle-sharp carvings on solid rocks with primitive tools like chisels and hammers? I mean, less than 1 millimeter wide? How did ancient builders accomplish this? Half-inch deities recognizable after 850 years of corrosion? A bowl the size of black pepper, just 4 millimeters wide? Sharp points less than 1 millimeter that can still prick like needles? Were these created with primitive tools, or were ancient builders using advanced technology? Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I am Praveen Mohan. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and also click on the bell button to get all the updates. Please give this video a thumbs up and do share it with your friends. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.
The only logical conclusion is that a lot of these buildings, which really have no other logical explanation how they were built and when they were built, by whom they were built, they go back to the age of Lucifer, which actually may have come to an end only about 7,000 years ago or so. That is the reason why we have so many of these megalithic and other types of buildings and temples that are military bases and pyramids that are scattered all across the face of the earth. And we don't even know what we would find if we could dig like even 20 feet below the surface, and also what we would find in the oceans. There are whole buried cities all along the coastal areas anyways, and who knows what's in the deep oceans, So this is all going back to the age of Lucifer, and before that, it does not belong in the age of Adam or in the days of Noah. Thank you for listening. This is Paul Sandhu.
a man advantaged if he gain the whole world and lose himself or be cast away? For whosoever shall be ashamed of me and of my words, of him shall the Son of Man be ashamed. And he said unto them all, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me. What is a man advantaged if he gain the whole world and lose himself or be cast away? For whosoever shall be ashamed of me and of my words, of him shall the Son of Man